Saints get back on track with a win versus the Colts. Neworleans.football. We are here post-game. Let's see what they got to say.
This was the get-back game the Saints needed. A combined.
Big true, Brooke. Big true. Well said. This was the get-back game the Saints needed. The Saints had to have this. The season was on the line, and more importantly, the locker room was on the line. The entire psychology of the team was on the line. I did Brooke no favors where we paused it here. Let me help her out. The fan base was on the line. Everything was on the line. My caloric intake with Dome Dogs was on the line. I can't keep having 3 to 4 a game to try and right the ship. The Saints did themselves a huge favor. They allowed themselves a sigh of relief. They allowed themselves to feel success. They allowed themselves to feel what it's like to be a fully functioning NFL offense. This was huge for the fan base. This was huge for the Saints moving forward, especially if we can roll this over into the game against Chicago. It's no surprise, ladies and gentlemen, the Saints have an easy schedule. I've been saying that for months. I've been saying that. It feels like I've been saying that for a decade. The Saints play backup quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks, no-name quarterbacks. They basically play intramural level flag football teams on the schedule. And the schedule got even easier with the situation in Minnesota today. So, with that being said, the Saints rattling off 5-6 wins in a row is not out of the question. We still face Atlanta twice. Spoiler, Atlanta sucks. We still face Carolina. Spoiler, Carolina sucks. We still face Tampa Bay. Spoiler, say it for me in the back. Tampa Bay sucks, okay? So we still play those teams. There's no reason the Saints cannot still get to that 10, 11, 12 wins that we were talking about. There's no reason we can't win the division. There's no reason we can't be a formidable playoff opponent. There's no reason teams should not fear the Saints if the Saints can keep moving forward with this style of play. If this is who they really are. If this is more of the Saints team that we know, less of the team that couldn't score against Green Bay, less of the team that let Jordan Love beat them, less of that team, more of this team, and we're not too far off from where we thought the Saints would be before the season.
Effort in all 3 phases of the game to get the win over the Colts and get back on track. Welcome back to The Dot, post-game coverage presented by Matt Bowers Auto Group. I'm Brooke Kirchhofer. For the first time this season, the Saints had over 500 yards of total offense. For the first time since the 2021 season, the Saints had multiple players with multiple touchdowns in a single game.
Wild stat there. More importantly than the yards is that we were 75% in the red zone, 3 or 4, and we were 50% on third downs. I don't care if you have 2,000 yards in a game. If you are bad in the red zone, which the Saints have been, if you are bad in the red zone, I did Brooke no favors with that pause either. If you are bad in the red zone, it doesn't matter. You can go up and down the field. If you're failing in the red zone, you will lose games in the NFL. So the Saints need to focus, or I guess not focus, but we need to focus more as fans on the fact that we were good in the red zone, 3 or 4. That's what the headline is, not the 500 yards of offense. So the red zone success, that's what we have to build on.
Was clicking and in rhythm for all 4 quarters, something quarterback Derek Carr has been striving for.
We were moving the ball, right now, and I say for the past couple weeks, we've been moving the ball well, but we finished today, and
there you go.
Like I had told everybody before, like I told you guys earlier this week on Wednesday, I feel like we're getting better, even though the whole world was falling down. I was like, inside our building, we're getting better.
I'll give him this. I will give him this grace. It's easy to say that kind of stuff after you win, but good. Okay, great answer. If things are getting better, and like he said, the whole world was falling down around them. People are screaming at them. People hate the Saints. I was in Rouse's last week. People were in there just getting paper bags and preparing for the Aints. They were preparing to bring it back. I have 4 paper bags in my kitchen right now that I can throw away, thank God. 4 sets, so that's 2. So that's 8. 8 bags. So thank God I can throw those out. Carr's right. They have looked better, even though the results haven't been there. If you look at the game against Green Bay or the game against Tennessee even, you look at some of these performances recently, the results haven't been there, but the team has looked better. This was everything coming together. The results were there. They finished. They looked good. They looked better. They looked different. If he is right and the Saints are through this hard patch and they've gotten better, and this is now what we're going to do here, you can make an argument, and I certainly would listen, that that's going to make the Saints stronger. That kind of trials and tribulations and going through all of that, and driving 100 miles an hour in Kenner or whatever Chris Olave was doing, Alvin Kamara and Demario Davis telling the team to sacrifice more doing prep, Derek Carr screaming at everybody. He was screaming at cotton candy vendors and Pete Carmichael and really just anybody who would listen. All of that crazy stuff that was going on. Maybe if the Saints could get through that, then all of that might make the team stronger and better moving forward. Sometimes you want to go through something hard as a team. You want to go through a little bit of a losing streak. You want to feel adversity. You don't just want to be successful all the way through, because then the first time of adversity, you may fall down. The Saints have had a ton of adversity. So if they can somehow navigate that and rattle off some wins, we'll be in a good spot.
We're communicating. We're talking about things. And I thought that showed today. And that was the thing, too, is like me and Jameis were talking, like, it's cool that we won this game, especially after the communication and conversations that we had relationally and all those kind of things. To see it come to fruition today was cool.
That is always good. I'm sure they're having those conversations, and we've heard this week that they did have a lot of conversations about the relationships and about the miscommunication problems and stuff. And to immediately get that gratification of what you're doing is working, that is huge. And hopefully, like I said, it continues. We kind of had the same conversation after New England. The difference is, I warned everyone after New England, look, the offense still wasn't great. We were handed a lot of opportunities. We still didn't do much. This game, it's not the case. This game, we went out there and we were a legit offense. We had a legit great performance. So if whatever the hell they were working on this week, I don't know what icebreakers they were doing. I don't know if they all got together, played some Fortnite with the boys, cranked a couple of 90s. I don't know if they ordered pizza, stayed in, rented a movie. I don't really care. Whatever happened seemed to have worked. So if that's what they need to feel like it worked, fine by me.
It was big, I think. Feel good when you can go out there and kind of execute. I think what we've been missing is that kind of third down. Really third down and red zone execution. And it felt good to kind of get that going today and have some good looks in the red zone and convert and be able to, end drives with touchdowns. So we're looking to build off of it.
Alvin Kamara still believes this offense has a lot to prove and still.
This is unbelievable. This is poor Brooke. She's trying to do this post-game recap. The entire Lucas Oil Stadium is being renovated. Are they tearing down the entire stadium around it? They're ripping up the turf. They got plywood or pallets everywhere. They got wood. People are slinging. This is insane what I'm watching. What's going on here? They couldn't have found. They couldn't have given her 3 minutes. These guys in the back couldn't have given her 5-10 minutes to do her spot. They had to rip off the turf in the middle of what's going on here. The disrespect from Indianapolis.
Left plays out there on the field. Kamara, Taysom Hill, and Rashid Shaheed all found the end zone today. The Saints were 3 of 4 in the red zone, with that last red zone trip ending in a Blake Grupe field goal to end the game.
1 for 1. Blake Grupe 1 for 1. No big deal. You won't hear anybody complaining and screaming about how Will Lutz could save the season or whatever because Grupe was good. Don't forget who the biggest supporters of Blake Grupe is. When he is the special teams player of the week again, or of the year, or whatever, just remember who had his back.
Colin Saunders was involved in Taysom Hill's second touchdown of the game in what the Saints are calling the Bink package.
I got versatility, and when they need me, when the team calls on me, I'm always be there. So hopefully it's for the long run. Obviously don't want to spill too many secrets, so we'll see.
Part of that is just wanting to do it, and he wants to do it. Like, I think that's part of the reason he's in that package, because he was campaigning for it for so long and just talking. He was just talking, like annoying almost. Like, man, put me in there. And they was like, all right, come on. Today, he got three or four in a row. And it's a little different when you really got an offensive, you got an offensive drive going. Like, he usually come in for 1 and go out. He was in there for 3.
But I think that's good too. I think that's good too, where you have some fun. The Saints certainly could be one of those teams where there's so much pressure on them, they're so buttoned up that they're not going to take chances like that. putting a defensive lineman in at fullback or whatever. But to do that, for it to work, be able to celebrate, that's what the team needs. The team needs to relax. The fans need to relax, honestly. I mean, the fans need to relax. I got people right now. The game ended a couple hours ago, and people right now are still talking about like Olave is a bust and Olave sucks all of a sudden. Like, it's the time to enjoy it. This is the time to enjoy it. This is the time to rally behind your guys, rally behind the team. Wear your Saints merch proudly this week. The team's having fun. We need to have fun. Everyone needs to have fun, and I'm glad to see packages like that work for the team in games like this.
He was like, it was flying, it was moving fast. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's good to be able to have Bink in there. I mean, he got a good feel for it. He knows what he's doing, so I mean, he's just a pro.
The Saints defense did not get out to the fast start that they wanted today in Indianapolis, giving up a touchdown on the Colts' second drive of the game, and struggled with penalties in the first half. 3 of those penalties set up scoring drives for the Colts in the first half, but the Saints...
Yeah, penalties were a problem for sure. Clean that up. We can't have 100 yards of penalties. We can't have 8, 9, 10 penalties a game. Certainly not against good teams. We prolong drives. Just like the field goal penalty, 4th and inches situation early on in the game. The defense adjusted, and they were pretty good in the second half. So people are going to say too many points to give up to Gardner Minshew, whatever. But on the road, good adjustments. I think the defense played fine.
Offensively, finally finished drives, and the defense did enough to hold off the Colts in the end of the game to win it 38-27.
I think we all needed a game like this. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the offense, but like, we needed to win, and we got one. We got one as a team. And so, there was a lot to like. There were some things that weren't.
Dennis is a real prickly pear. I mean, he is a prickly pear. I'll tell you this too. You don't see visors a lot anymore. I was just thinking about that the other day. Who wears a visor anymore? Dennis is one of the last ones. I mean, Dennis is really holding on to the visor community. I've never really understood the visor situation. Why not just wear a hat? But, I can understand if you have like a ponytail or something, but I'll give Dennis this. He's consistent. He's not consistent as a head coach. Well, he is. He's actually consistently terrible as a head coach, but he's super consistent with the visor look. So, much respect.
Weren't, up to our standard. And so, look, we're going to enjoy this, and then we got to get back to work, and we got another big game this week against Chicago coming into our place.
The Saints will head back to New Orleans this week, where they will be looking to build off of this solid offensive performance Sunday in the Dome against the Bears. We will continue breaking down this much-needed win for the Saints from Lucas Oil Stadium live on Neworleans.football tonight.
Absolutely. Hope they don't tear down the entire stadium before they get all their videos done. I mean, this is like a David Blaine, Chris Angel situation. Now the field is there. I'm not sure when things were filmed. I'm not sure what's going on. We're in some kind of time-space continuity with the field and the pallets and what's happening here. So mind is blown. But let me know in the comments below what you think. I mean, look, it's we can sleep easy. We can sleep easy tonight. We can breathe easy tonight. Throw away your paper bags. Big win. We got to roll it over though. We got to beat Chicago. We got to perform the same level. We got to be as good offensively. We got to do the same things. Push the ball. Take chances. We got to do it 2 weeks in a row. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.